Hare Srinivasa. By the grace of Lord Prasanna Venkatesha of the Tirumala Hills, Prasanna Venkata dasaru obtained the darshan. He was even given and conferred the title Prasanna Venkata Das as the Ankita, and he started composing songs on Paramatma and the truth that was contained in the Vedas. Let us bow down to this dasaru, Prasanna Venkata Dasa. प्रसन्नवरदं ध्यायेत् प्रसन्नगुणपूरणं प्रसन्नवेङ्कटं वन्दे गुरुभावं पदाश्रये. O Prasanna Venkatadasa, I bow down at your feet and seek your blessings so that I may understand the suladhi in the right manner, so that I may understand the suladhi in the manner that you intended it to be. So this Suladhi's name is Upadesha the Suladhi. As the name itself says, it is something which gives you a gift. Because the people of the world are always searching for something by which they can be uplifted. Gift means what you feel elated to get to receive something which will give you a kind of happiness or which might give you some kind of enlightenment. That is even further. It is even more better. So he's telling us one suladhi. Suladhi means it is a small snippets of passages which are tuned in one tala. That is, the rhythm is given more importance. The rhythms or the method it has to be sung, and the number of charanas differ. In this case, we have around 5 charanas which are followed by one jate. So in each of these charanas, they talk, Prasanna Venkatadasaru speaks about the Upadesha or the learning that we can gain through the messages of the Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita, and the Sadagamas, and then apply them to our life so that we might get uplifted. Upa means to get to up. Upa is up. Desha means place. So to be in a elevated place means your mind is in an elevated place. In order that our mind be elevated, what should we contemplate on? How should we accept what we have been given? All these things are told by Prasanna Venkata dasaru. The first one is Dhruvatala. The Suladhi says, ಹರಿತನ್ನ ಏಕಾಂತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ ವೈಭವವ ಸಿರಿ ಸಂಪದವೇ ಸೌಖ್ಯದ ಲಂಪಟವ ಹರಿ ತನ್ನ ಏಕಾಂತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ ಅಖಿಲಾದ ಅರಸುತನದ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಬಯಕೆಯ ಕರುಣಾಂಬುದಿ ತನ್ನ ಶರಣ ಜನರ ಭವಭಾರಕನೆಂಬೋ ಬಲು ಬಿರುದು ರಕ್ಷಕನಾಗಿ ಅರಿಭಯದ ಬೆದರಿಕೆ ಮನೋವ್ಯತ ವ್ಯಸನವು ಬರುವುದೆಂದರಿದು Shri Prasanna Venkata Krishna. So here Dasaru says, if you are a devotee of Lord Krishna, then will you face any kind of negative situations in your life? Will you find that you are troubled in the mind and body? Will you find that you have plenty of enemies in your mind itself? Fears in your mind also? He says, yeah, that will happen if you are a devotee of Krishna. In the beginning, in order that we have to put our minds wholly and surrender to Him, in order that we learn the truth of life, which is there. I mean, to understand life, we need to know that we have been given this opportunity to remove all the doshas that have accumulated in our antakarna from time immemorial. Many janmas have passed, and in each of these janmas, when lessons were dealt out to us in the form of poverty, in the form of difficulties, in the form of disease, we never understood them. We kept on saying that, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And we don't want this. So what happens? That thing is waiting, waiting, waiting. It keeps coming back to us. Until and unless we learn the lesson that is in there for us, it is not going to go away. Further, it will just accentuate. The lessons have to be learned and the situation will pass. Situations are there only for us to learn something. So he says that what we have to learn first and primarily is that everything in the world belongs to Paramatma, nothing belongs to me. And that is felt by the dasa. When he is a dasa, he will feel it automatically. Why he feels it? Because he is yadrucha lava santushto. What is yadrucha? Yadrucha means which is coming by fortune, they say. What is coming by fortune is actually coming by the grace of the God, the unseen giver. So the unseen giver, God, keeps giving you and then you are taking it. When it is to your liking, you are happy. When it is not to your liking, you are unhappy. But what is there in this? We have to understand. We have to understand that we have to accept and move. Accept and move. We're in a situation of a peaceful surrender to Paramatma. So he is telling, look at the dasas and their lives. Were they all very peaceful lives or whether they had to undergo difficulties? Yes, they did undergo difficulties. We see in the life of Prahalad Raja, we see in the life of Dhruva. These are all Bhagavatotamas. Then in Kali Yuga itself, we see so many charitras of Dasarus, including Prasanna Venkata Dasaru. They suffered in the beginning, but that suffering came as a lesson to them. They understood that they have to move away from that by being detached and accepting what came to their lot as Paramatma's gift. Because the gift itself is there. The gift is that you know and understand that Paramatma is the truest gift. If we can chant his name, if we can do his dhyana, if we can listen to his glory, if we can partake of his prasadam, there's nothing more that we can ask for. So that has to be learned and understood. In that, and for that reason, it says that for Paramatma, he says that if he wants this devotee to be uplifted, he removes their wealth. Wealth can be of any form. It can be of the form of the money, property, relationships, your own health, your own looks, whatever is there with you. All these things can be taken away by Paramatma in order if he wants to grace that person. Because once it is gone, then only we understand that the true support for us is Paramatma. Yasya anugram ichchami tasya vittam haramyaham. This is Bhagavatam. Yasya nigraham ichchami tasya vittam dadamyaham. Iti Srimad Bhagavate. Bhagavata says that Paramatma himself declares that for whom I want to grace them, I remove whatever they are feeling comfortable with. They think that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, that is my wealth. Then I remove that from them. Then only they are stunned. They know that this is not theirs. So they start wondering, what is mine then? Mine is the only one thing, and that is Paramatma. He is my only soul friend. He is my only soul wealth. And once the soul realizes that, that time he is completely free from all bondage. In order for us to become free, these kind of lessons are taught by Hari himself. So he is saying, Hari tanna ekantigalige koda vaibhavava. At any point in time, ekantigalu means who worship Hari in silence, in their heart of hearts. What does he do? He does not give them vaibhava. Vaibhava means to be respected by the world, to be enjoying that, to be attached to that, all these things. Siri Sampadave Saukyada Lampatava. He doesn't give them the best of the best houses or the luxurious cars or anything that is too luxurious, he does not give them. See, for everything, we don't have to take it in the does not means for every soul, it's like that. It is different for everyone. It's different for everyone, but general rule is that if the person has to learn that luxury is by itself not the cause of happiness, Paramatma's wish is the cause of happiness. And understanding that, he prays to Paramatma like Jagannath Dasaru says, Vitta Dehagara Dara Apatya Mitradigalolage Chitta Buddhyad Indriyagalolage ಜ್ಞಾನ ಕರ್ಮದೊಳಗೆ ತತ್ತದಾಹ್ವಯನಾಗಿ ಸತ್ಯ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪಾನುಸಾರದಿ ನಿತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡಿಪ ನೆಂದು ಸ್ಮರಿಸ್ತು. He is giving us the Upadesha to keep remembering that the wealth, the relationships like husband, children, grandparents, parents, guru, friends, everyone. And then not only that, our knowledge, jnana, then the karma that we perform, jnana karma dolu. Tattadahvayanagi. He is only there in all these forms. He exists inside that and makes it happen. He makes it happen. Once we remember that, we will be completely in bliss. Siri Sampadava Saukya Lampatava. So in order to instill that knowledge in us, at times he gives the bhaktas lots of difficulties. He does not keep them immersed in the samsaric sukha. ಹರಿ ತನ್ನ ಏಕಾಂತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಅಖಿಲದ ಹರಿ ಅರಸುತನದ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಬಯಕೆಯ. He does not give them the feeling that they should be the rulers of the world. ಕರುಣಾಂಬುದಿ ತನ್ನ ಶರಣ ಜನರ ಭವಭಾರಕ ನೆಂಬು ಬಲು ಬಿರುದು ರಕ್ಷಕನಾಗಿ. He has one big, one big wonderful guna in him, that he is the rakshaka of his bhaktas. So with this, what does he do? He has to uplift them. If now they are looking at the world and thinking, oh, the world is everything for me, he can't let them stay in that state. He has to uplift them. So in order to uplift them, what he has to do? He will take away their wealth. He'll take away something which they are very much attached to. Then they'll be totally at a loss. They'll start searching for what is the thing that is supporting me. And that question is where he wants them to be in. He's having that birudu, no? That's what happened to Dhruva. Dhruva would have been just happy to sit on the lap of his father. But he was shocked into one state where he went away to the forest and he sat there doing penance without being afraid of anything else. He only wanted the vision of Paramatma and he wanted to ask him. Ari means enemies, bhaya, fears, bedarike, manovyata, having lot of afflictions of the mind. Vyasana means anxiety and worries. Baruvudu, these all things will come to the devotee. Aritu Shri Prasanna Venkata. Knowing that, don't think that he's telling us forewarning that if you are a devotee of Krishna, don't think that any point in time I will not face all these things. Because when you are not learning the lesson, he's the Bhakta Vatsala. No, he can't let you be whatever you're doing. He has to tell, okay, no, now you have to come to the right path. So let me give you this. So once the heat starts up, then we start thinking, okay, this misery is not good. Let me go away from this. How to go away? You have to chant Krishna's name. So that is given to us in the next charana. He says that taking Krishna's name only is going to make anything itself fortunate. If there is something and it is fortunate, that means it contains Krishna's name, Krishna's blessing, Krishna's grace. So he is telling that person who is chanting Krishna's name, he is the most fortunate. One who does not, he is the most unfortunate. So that is here. Mareye hariga abhimukara bhagya ve bhagya. Without even forgetting, if they are always tuned towards Hari, Hariga Abhimukha means to be facing Hari, means in every action, every step, they always remember Hari. Their Bhagya is what is Bhagya. They are the most fortunate. Harige Vimukara Bhagya, Dhaur Bhagya. If they are not facing Hari, means they are not at all thinking about Hari for anything. Any blessing they receive also, they do not thank him. They are really unfortunate. Hari Priya Janara Vritti, Nivritti. All these Hari, Bhaktas of Hari, what do? They do work which is for worship of Hari. They do not do anything for a selfish motivation or selfish interest. So whatever they do leads to Nivritti. Nivritti means to be free from samsara. Samsara is the entanglement of the mind and the soul's antarkarana in things, in relationships, in various sorts of thought processes that we have. So once these get removed, the entanglements have to be removed, then the soul will become free of the attachment of me and mine. And that will allow him to understand his own self or her own self correctly. Right now, we don't understand. We just say that, okay, that's how it is. But when we can see our own soul as completely dependent on that Hari, and his karuna on us is so much that we don't realize it also, that we are not independent, that we are not able to do anything on our own. In the body that we have also, we cannot do any chesta on our own will. We have to depend on so many people, so many devatas to accomplish it. So that is knowing it and chanting Hari's name is fortune. Forgetting it is the biggest misfortune. Hari Priyajanara Vritti is Nivritti. Hari Paravallada Yajna Avajna. If you don't chant, if you don't offer that yajna to Paramatma, any yajna, yajna means a puja, yajna means a kind of any type of offering is a yajna. Dana yajna is there, dravya yajna is there, tapa yajna is there, sadhana, dhyana yajna is there, any yajna. If it is offered to Paramatma, then it is suyajna because it brings you unlimited fruits. That grace of Paramatma is the unlimited fruit that is given in a suyajna. Whereas if the person Hari Paravallada yajna, if they have not offered it to Paramatma, then it becomes avajna, waste. It is a useless yajna. Hari Mukhya Nembo Nigama Sugama. That Sugamas means Gama Agamas are those which gives you good knowledge. Sadagamas are the true revealers of knowledge, of truth. So Sadagamas will always have the supremacy of Hari as their main theme. If there is an Agama, then if it is not having Hari supremacy as the main theme, then it is a Duragama, he says. Shri Prasanna Venkata Krishna Jeevarige Sari endavanu Ihaparake Bahiranu. If he is going to, if anyone says Jeevarige Sari endavanu, if any person declares that one Jiva is also equal to Hari, then he is completely annihilated, you can take. In Ihaparadi means in this world and in the next also, or when the Jiva leaves the body also, he is completely doomed from all Sukha because he is going away from the truth. What is the truth? Truth is that Hari is supreme. If Hari is supreme, how can the Jiva be equal to Hari? Can never be equal. Hari is always supreme, and that supremacy never ever is removed at any point in time. In that case, then all these jivas are there. What will happen to them? They are all there and they are always under his control. Hari Angriya Mula Dasatva Hundi Paramamangala Namasmaraneyanu Bidade Iralenna Manavu Iralenna Tanuvu ತರುಣಿ ಪುತ್ರ ಮಿತ್ರ ಸರ್ವರಿಂ ಪ್ರಿಯನೆಂದು ಹರಿಚರಣಾಂಬುದ ಅಮೃತವ ನುಂಬೋ ಸ್ನೇಹ ದಿರಲೆನ್ನ ಮನವು ಇರಲೆನ್ನ ತನುವು ನಿರುಪಾಧಿಕ ಪ್ರಿಯ ನಿರ್ಮಲ ಶ್ರುತಿಗೇಯ ನಿರುತ್ತ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ವೆಂಕಟ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸೇವೆಯಲಿರಲಿ. So he is now telling, once I have understood that Hari is the main cause of anything to be fortunate. Hari is there, then it is a Saubhagya. Hari is not present, then it is an Avayagna, Avadina, Avamangala, everything. So even Purandarasaru has sung one song in this. Hariya Nenasida Divasa, Shubha Divasa, Hariya Nenasada Divasa, Avamangala. So these kind of Hariya Nenasida Galige, Shubha Galige, Hariya Nenasada Galige, Avagalige. Means any time which is not spent in the thought of Hari as what? As the Supreme Personality, as the one who is completely loving and compassionate towards devotees, as the one who is always searching for ways to uplift the devotee. If our time is not spent in that, then it's waste, no. So he's saying, after knowing that, I want all my mind, my body, my everything to be tuned towards that Paramatma. Hari Angriya Mula Dasatvava Hundi. Always I want to be the Dasa or the Sevaka of Paramatma's feet. Sevaka of Paramatma's feet directly touch and do the puja is Lakshmi's Arhata. Because in time and space she is with him. But all others are never with him in time and space. It is only his decision. When he wants to give the awareness, he gives. So what does this mean? Pada Seva means there are many ways you can do the Pada Seva. Hari Dasara Pada Seva is also Hari Pada Seva. Hari Pada Seva is Hari Guna Gana is also Hari Pada Seva. Hari Sankirtana is also Hari Pada Seva. Because Paramatma's Nama, Sankirtana is also Pada Seva. Because Pada is not different from his Avayavas. Avayavas are not different from his names and Gunas and Kriyas. So Parama Mangala Namasmaraneyannu Bidade Iralenna Manavu. Let my mind always be in the thoughts of Sri Hari. Iralenna Tanuvu. Let my Deha or my body also be in the seva of Paramatma. So whatever I do, let it be an offering to Sri Hari. Taruni, Putra, Mitra means my wife or the spouse. Putra, children. Mitra, friends. Sarvarim, Priyanendu, Hari Charanambudi. He is more closer to me. He is more dearer to me than any of these outer relationships that I have. For this body, we have so many relationships. He is much more dearer than all this to me. Let it be in my thought, he says. Haricharanam Buddha, Amruta Numbo Sneha Diralenna Manavu, Iralenna Tanu. Let my mind always be seeking for that Amruta, which is the glory of Paramatma's feet. And let my mind and body thirst for this seva. Nirupadika Priya. He does not have any reason to be friendly to me. See, the other people are friendly because they have this body as their companion. Like if it is the child, then the parents love the child because it's their child. The husband loves the wife because it is his wife. The relationship is there. Because of the body relationship, they are having this love towards each other. But Paramatma has no reason for that. He doesn't need anyone's service. He doesn't need anyone's love or bhakti. But he is there. Nirmala Shruti Geya. He is so glorified by the completely pure Shrutis. Shrutis are the Vakyas which have been understood and revealed to the Shishyas by the Gurus. Again, those Shishyas are becoming Gurus. They reveal it to their Shishyas and it keeps on moving through the parampara of Gurus. And he is always glorified in that parampara as the Supreme God. Niruta, always and always this is true. So Prasanna Venkata Krishna, Seve Irali. Let this seva of Paramatma be mine always, he says. That is the prayer that I would like to offer to Krishna. Nishtariin Ollaru, Nakavasada Sukha, Kottarin Ollaru Sakala Sampadavanu, Ashtanga Yogada, Patasiddhiyan Ollaru, Krishnana Padabja Makaranda Bakutaru, ತುಷ್ಟಿಯನ್ ಒಲ್ಲರು ಸ್ವರೂಪದ ಅನುಭವ ಅನಿಷ್ಟಕೋಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ತಾರದ ಇಷ್ಟಮೂರುತಿ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ವೆಂಕಟ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಭಕುತಿಗೆ ಮೋಹಿತ ಮರುಳರು. Now he is describing that bhakta, how his mind state will be for the bhakta. He does not aspire for anything. He is very happy with what he has. That's what is yadrucha lava santushto Dvandvatito, Nirmatsaraha. These are the qualities of the devotee that Krishna describes. So if he says, I want something, then he is not my devotee, he says. So he is saying, Nishtarin Ollaru Nakavasada Sukha. The people who are devoted to Krishna, who are real and true devotees, they do not even aspire for Nakava. Naka means Swarga. The heavenly pleasures that are declared to be theirs by doing certain yagas, certain punyas, people can aspire for that. But the true devotees of Krishna do not aspire for any of these. Kottarin ollaru sakala sampad. If anyone tries to bestow them with lot of wealth also, they will not take it. I don't want it, they say. That we have seen in the Charitra of Dhruva also, when he was having the vision of Paramatma, and Paramatma told him that you have come here for the sitting on the lap of your father, you will do that, and you will also rule the kingdom for years to come. But Dhruva says, oh, what is my misfortune? What a misfortune. I should not have thought in that manner when I started my tapasya. After truly seeing your majesty and your greatness, how can I even want to have any of these things? So that is the true state of devotion. They don't want anything that is there in the world which is aspired by normal people. Any kind of worldly pleasures, worldly property, they don't want. Ashtanga Yogada Pata Siddhi and Ollaru. They say that, okay, by the grace of Paramatma, due to their meditation and all, they get lot of siddhis like anima, lagima, garima. They can be really heavy. People cannot even lift them. They can become so light that they can float on the water. They can float in the air. They can become invisible. They can be all these kind of siddhis they can get through yoga. But they don't want any of these. The Hari Bhaktas, the true devotees, don't at all want any of these siddhis. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಪಾದಾಬ್ಜ ಮಕರಂದ ಬಕುತರು ತುಷ್ಟಿಯ ನೊಲ್ಲರು ಸ್ವರೂಪದ ಅನುಭವ. They say that what ಮುಕುತಿ ಸುಖವೋ ಬಕುತಿ ಸುಖವೋ ಮುಕುತಿ ಸುಖವೋ ಯುಕುತವಂತರೆಲ್ಲ ಪೇಳಿ is Vijayadasaru's dhwani. He says that which is more better? Is it bhakti or is it mukti? Because they don't even want that mukti, the bhaktas. ಅನಿಷ್ಟ ಕೋಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ತಾರದ whatever comes which is very difficult to face for a normal person, for a devotee it is nothing. He just passes it. Shishtariga ishta muruti. He is for the shishtas or the people who are his dasas. For them, he is the most dearest. That Prasanna Venkata Krishna. Bhakutiga mohita marularu. They are really and truly mad in his devotion. They are truly mad because that is what we can see in the charitras of the bhaktas. They become really mad with that love for Paramatma. Everything else becomes secondary to them. Everything else is not of any worth to them. The Gopikas, they left everything. They said, we left our husbands, children, parents, everyone we left. We came for you only, Krishna. Don't forsake us. So everything has to be left in the sense that understood that everything is only because of Paramatma's grace, and it is all under his control, and it is his grace that we are enjoying it. If we are enjoying it, then it is because of his grace. So knowing that, they surrendered to him, the gopis. And that is what we need to be like, he says. We have to be mad with love for Krishna. And that is the path of the Upadesha. He's saying this is an Upadesha suladhi. In order that we may break away from this chakra of samsara, we have to be totally in love with Krishna. He's telling, let me tell you how much I am thirsting for Paramatma's vision. How much I want it. Let me give you some examples, says Prasanna Venkata dasaru. He says, Gari udubhavisida mari taya garedante ಕಂಡೆರೆಯದ ಶಿಶು ಜನನಿಯ ಬಯಸುವ ಪರಿ ಪಿರಿಯನ ಕಾಣದ ರಮಣಿಯ ಮನದಂತೆ ಸಿರಿರಮಣನ ಆಗಮವನೇ ಬಯಸುತ್ತಿಹೆ ಕರಿವರದ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ವೆಂಕಟ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಕರುಣಾಮೃತವನ್ನುಂಡು ಸುಖಿ ಪೇನ್ ಅನುದಿನ. He is telling that a small bird, when once it develops the feathers, no, still it will not be able to fly. It will be waiting for the mother to come. It will be waiting and waiting and waiting, and it will be looking out. When will my mother come? So that he can be free of this nest and start flying. Even the eyes have not opened. That baby which is just born, it waits for the mother to come. The mother has to come and pick it up and feed it. The damsel who is in love, she is waiting for the person whom she has kept in her heart to come forward. She is waiting and waiting. Siri Ramanana Agamanave Bayasuve. He is telling, I am waiting for that Lord of Shri, that Paramatma, to come into my mind, into my heart. He is that person who came at the call of that elephant. The Gajendra who was in trouble, he forgot to call Krishna as the sole supporter. For 1,000 years he was in that muck. He called out to his relatives, to his bandhus, to everyone, but he never was uplifted. He was uplifted the moment he started calling out, Adimula, Ninna Bittu Nanage Yaru Illa, Anatha Bandhu, Karunamrutavanundu. I have heard these stories of the devotees. I have listened to them and I have understood, and I feel that devotion, he says. Karunamrutavanundu. I have felt that devotion to give me that nectar which spreads the happiness into my mind. Let me do this every day. Sukhi pen anudinavu. ee karunamrutada, let me drink the nectar of his karuna day after day, life after life. As long as I'm there, let me always be devoted to Krishna and let me listen to his greatness. Samsara chakradinda nijara datipa parama hamsesha prasanna venkata Krishna namo namo. Samsara chakradinda nijara datipa parama hamsesha prasanna venkata Krishna namo namo. Samsara chakradinda. The samsara is like a chakra. Because what is samsara? It is the unceasing motion of the soul from one body to another. So when it keeps on moving from one body to another, it's like a chakra. No, the person is born, he dies, then he's again born, then he dies. So this is that. He says no, that jatasya is dhruvo mrityu, janma mritasya. So whoever is born, he will die. Whoever is dying, he will always be born again. Vasamsi jirnani yata vyayant. So when the body becomes old, it is not functioning as it should, then it is shed like the old clothes and new bodies come into being. Just as the person passes from the uh, babyhood to youth, youth to middle age to old age, and then death. It's like a cycle. So this cycle has to be broken free. How will it be? Only by the grace of God. So he says, samsara chakradinda nijara datipa. Nijaru means who are truly devoted to him. Those people will definitely be uplifted by Paramatma. Hamsesha Prasanna Venkata Krishna Namo Namo. Hamsa Isha. Hamsa means also Paramatma. Isha means also Paramatma. Hamsa means he is that. Ham means who is completely devoid of all doshas. Hana means to be who can destroy the doshas. Sa means Sara, who experiences the Sara of all things. And he is always completely in bliss. He is the essence of what is ever existing. Anything is existing, it's because of his presence inside it. That Paramatma is the Isha. Isha means who controls everything, who is the Antaryami, who is in the universe and without. That is Prasanna Venkata. And he is Krishna. Prasanna Venkata is that Paramatma who resides in my heart, says Prasanna Venkata Dasa. And he is the one who appeared as Krishna. And I bow down to him again and again and say, Namo, 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 Nama, Nama. Na Mama means nothing is mine, O Krishna. Everything is yours. So I also surrender at your feet and pray that I may be enjoying the nectar of your devotion always, day after day, life after life. अस्मद् गुरुवंतर्गत भारती रमण मुख्य प्राणांतर्गत श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण प्रेरण्य लक्ष्मी नारायण प्रीत्यर्थम श्री कृष्णार्पणम. हरे श्रीनिवास.